What do you think is the biggest issue of 2020? Sadly, COVID-19 will be the first one to come to you and me. So, do you have words in mind that can relate it to COVID-19? Like social distancing, pandemic, or isolated, or lockdown? Those are all right, but there's one really important one that we're missing. That's right, it's a mask. Mask is now necessary for us. We wear them when we go to school, we wear them when we go to work, and when we go to shopping, even when we play musical instruments like band. So, do you know how many masks are getting used in 1 month around the entire globe? What do you think it is? According to American Chemistry Society, there's 129 masks used around one entire globe. So, since we have 7.7 billion people in Earth in 2020, that means about one person uses 17 masks. And that is a lot. So, by the way, do you know how those 129 billion masks are getting thrown away? Do you know? That's right, you throw them into the trash can. And that is really easy, right? But in the recent news or social media, you might have seen some masks in what happened to those masks that got thrown away. They were buried in sand or drenched in water, or they were hanging from branches. I'm worried about corona infection due to the discarded masks, but there is a bigger problem. First, masks are made out of plastic, which is used to make a bottle lid. So did you know that mask, when burned, it turns into a little toxic gases and microplastics. So if they go into the water, they don't rot for hundreds of years. And that damaged our sea life, but the tables also turn for us. That's because the little teeny tiny toxic gases and microplastic get absorbed into our ecosystem. Another thing that we need to know is there's animals suffering from abandoned masks. In July, a photographer caught a seagull that got stuck on a mask because the seagull was tied to the ground with a mask strap. And when they checked it, the area that were tied to the mask were severely swollen. In addition, at the time of discovery, there was a dead penguin discovered that had a belly full of adult masks. And it was in Brazil Zoo K. And experts thought the penguin died swallowing a mask. So what do we do now? Should we not wear disposable masks that create environmental pollution and makes animals tired? Should we only use cloth masks? But you don't campfire out fear just because there's fire in your backyard. You don't eat Tylenol because it has side effects. That's right. No principle can be perfect for everyone. But if there's a problem, there's a solution. Like, if there's a campfire, you follow safety rules and make sure you're away from the fire and fire is not so big. Just if we check how much dose we should drink in Tylenol when we drink them or eat them, there would be a solution for this mass problem too. So we have to find the best way to fulfill the responsibility accordingly. If there's a problem, there's a solution. So how do you throw it away correctly? First, you have to throw them into trash can. That's really easy, right? But it actually really helps. Since if it goes into the trash can, it don't get caught in animals and it doesn't go to the forest or the oceans. And you have to cut the mask earrings and cut them and fold them and throw them away as a waste. Secondly, you can't do this, but when it gets thrown into the trash can and you have to decompose them in a very high temperature. which would still make toxic gases, and it would make microplastics, but it makes less toxic gases and less microplastics than usual. So, due to Corona-19, our daily life has changed sufficiently. But we're adapting and overcoming the changes. But we can't just think that we're doing everything good and we can just live our daily life. We have to live a responsible life. So our descendants would get better land, and the animals that share the world with us will not get harmed by something that we do. I like to tell you this because this problem is something that many people would think it's not a big problem, but it actually really is a big problem. Therefore, I conclude this speech with a hope that we live responsibly for everybody on the planet. And we have to throw the mask properly and correctly. Thank you for listening to my speech. Thank you.